Hi, good morning, y'all. It's so good to see you too. Hi. Oh, there's more. Good morning. It's Saturday. Welcome to Saturday morning medical Qigong class. My name is Mary Frances, and I am one of all these medical Qigong students. And today we're doing the Rejuvenation series. One quick note: my windows are open. I've tried throughout the week to keep them closed, and today isn't as warm as it has been, but it's still really, really warm. And because the Rejuvenation series is a little more active, the windows are open, so it might be a little more lively outside than typical. If you want to play music while we're working, you're more than welcome to, and I apologize for any discomfort over that. But it gets kind of hot. All right, so that's it. That's my chatty. Let's go ahead and work on our rejuvenation. We're doing 1 through 5 today. Our last 15 minutes after the regular 30-minute practice is going to be that third element of swimming in Qi, which those of you who know, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. So let's go ahead and do some warm-ups, and let's do our rotating tapping this morning. So settling into the space, relaxing the bottoms of the feet, softening the knees, dropping the tailbone, allowing for some space in that lumbar spine. Relaxing the shoulders, tip of the tongue is touching the roof of the mouth. Even so, we're relaxing the jaw. Allowing the very top of the head to reach up into the sky. And then with the hands and loose fists, we're going to start twisting from side to side. Allowing the vibration of the tapping to help open up the tissues. Opening up the channels. Allowing for greater Qi and blood flow. Letting the breath enter as deeply as is comfortable for you within the torso. And gradually allowing that lead hand to travel up the torso towards the opposing shoulder. And then allowing that lead arm to travel back down the torso. Taking the momentum away and releasing the hands. Widening the stance. Tapping the inner thigh and then up at the hip. Transitioning, widening the stance further if you like, coming down the yin side of the legs, the medial aspect of the legs towards just above the ankle or wherever it's comfortable for you. Transitioning to the lateral aspect of the legs, the yang side, coming back on up towards the hips and the glutes, sliding that left foot a little closer to the right, maintaining that hip width, shoulder width distance. And then coming up just underneath the rib cage, lightly tapping tissues in the low back, waking up the kidneys and that kidney energy. Placing the palms of the back, circling down the sides and up the spine. Resting the palms of the low back, closing the eyes. Inhaling, guiding the breath and the chi to the low back, allowing it to fill up with energy. Exhaling, allowing this energy to travel and flow to wherever it's needed. Inhaling, guiding the breath and the chi to the low back. Exhaling, allowing that energy to flow freely to wherever it's needed. Inhaling and exhaling at your own pace. Allowing the mind to relax into the breath. Allowing the breath to relax the body. And allowing the chi to flow freely to wherever it's needed. When you're ready, gently opening the eyes. Letting the arms come back down to your sides. And closing, bringing that left foot back to the right. Okay, so I didn't see who joined in. If anyone is new, please feel free to ask questions after the class. I love questions. They always help out everyone. So that's when to ask the questions. And don't try to learn all of these all at once, all of these exercises all at once. Just enjoy them, and that actually goes for all of us. We should be theoretically enjoying these exercises. They're fun, and they should feel good. Never ever move into pain. Don't try to push through the pain. Pain is not your best friend. Please feel free to modify any exercise so that your body is happy with it. It should be comfy, mostly comfy. All right, Rejuvenation series. The wave, opening, inhaling. Exhaling. In. And out. Inhaling. And exhaling. I'm going to scoot over, opening for the wave, our first exercise. Inhaling and exhaling. In and out. Inhaling and exhaling. Now going at your own pace, working with your own breath. Moving faster or slower as what works best for you. About one more. Closing. The modified closing is inhaling up to the breastbone, exhaling, inhaling all the way up, exhaling, in and out, inhaling and exhaling. Our second exercise, the shaking exercise. Inhaling. Exhaling. In. And out. Inhaling. And exhaling. Opening. Settling into the space. Closing the eyes. And shaking. And then getting ready to slow down. Allowing yourself to come back to the center, taking all the time that you may need. Opening the eyes, closing, the traditional closing. Inhaling all the way up. Exhaling. In and out. Inhaling and exhaling. Our third exercise, infinity. Opening. Inhaling and exhaling. In and out. Getting ready to close. Closing. Our fourth exercise, scoop the moon. Natural breathing. About one more on each side. Closing. Swimming in Qi, parts 1 and 2. Inhaling, exhaling, about 5 more times. One more. Transitioning to part 2. We're inhaling, exhaling, in and out. Inhaling and exhaling. About 4 more. Coming back up to standing. And then closing. Okay. So for our closing, keeping the feet together, bringing the palms together. Our number is 9, washing the face. Wiping the brown underneath the eye. Up and down the nose. Circling 9 in, 9 out. Dredging the channels of the scalp. Beating the drum. Grasping the ears. Popping the cork. Uniting the Ren channel and the Du channel. Circling in and then out. And then massaging the jaw. Our number changes to 12 times total, or 6 times each side, brushing down the throat. And then down the breastbone. Bringing the palms to the lower dantian. Simple closing the eyes. Inhaling, guiding the breath and the chi to the lower dantians, allowing it to fill up with energy. Exhaling, allowing that energy to settle and store. Inhaling and exhaling at your own pace, allowing the mind to relax into the breath to relax the body, and the chi to settle and store so that you might use it throughout the rest of your day. Thank you all for Saturday morning practice part 1. If you want to stick around, you certainly can. We're going to be working on the swimming in chi part 3. And then after that, we'll do our fall exercises. And just a reminder, our fall exercises will be changing tomorrow. So we might want to brush up on those fall exercises that Henry taught us on Wednesday. And you can access those by contacting him directly, and then he'll give you a link. And I think it's like a little bit. It's like either $5 if you have taken his class before, and $10 if you have. But it's really great. Okay, so swimming in chi part 3. Let's review part 1 and part 2. That's the easiest way to get to part 3. So we start with part 1. The palms are facing up. We're inhaling as the arms extend and the hips push back. So that's our inhale. And then the shoulders rotating the palms. So now that the palms are facing out. Exhaling as we sweep the arms around and back, rotating the wrists. I'm trying to stay in frame, so rotating the wrists so that the palms are then facing up again. Inhaling and exhaling. Okay. So we're going to keep that in mind for part 3. Part 3 is very similar to this. Inhaling and exhaling. Opening up the throat, opening up the chest, rotating the wrists. And then for part 2, once again, we have that transition move. So we're inhaling just like part 1. And then this time, when the shoulders rotate, the palms are going to face the earth. So we've inhaled, exhaling, palms facing the earth. Inhaling up the torso to just underneath the clavicle, pushing out into the sides. That's all an inhale. Exhaling, bringing the index fingers together in a V. So inhaling. And then exhaling, bringing those index fingers into a V. One more time, inhaling. And then exhaling. From here to start part 3, we're simply going to stand. And standing back where we're upright with the palms facing the sky, the elbows back by our side. And then we're going to turn to the left. So me mirroring you. I'm going to turn to the right. You're going to turn to the left. We're going at about 45 degrees. Okay, so we're not turning all the way to the left. We're turning about 45 degrees. We're going to do the modified version first, and then the classical version. So the modified version is very similar to the Ren exercise in the basic games. You're going to take the foot that's closest to the screen, which is your right foot, and pop it up so that the heel is up off the ground. Palms once again are by your waist, and all you're doing is that same move from part one. So you're inhaling as you extend the arms in front with the hips pushing back, flipping the shoulders, so now the palms are facing outward. There we go. And then that was your inhale, and then we're exhaling as we stand up, sweeping the arms back behind us, rotating the wrists so the palms are facing up. Inhaling and exhale. Opening the throat, opening the chest, in and out. Now, you can probably guess the classic version. Instead of popping the heel up, you're going to take that knee up. Now, one thing that will help is wearing pants that don't get stuck. I did not remember this aspect when I first started this morning. So these pants get a little stuck. But if you have pants that don't stick, it makes it much easier. So the knee comes up, the palms are once again by the waist, and then you're inhaling as you shoot that foot back behind you, extending the leg, rotating the wrists, and then exhaling. Right? Inhaling, sinking with the supporting leg as you extend your right leg back behind you. That's an inhale. And then exhaling as you come up, sweeping the arms out to the side. And if you want, you can even lean back a little bit. Once again, opening the throat, opening the chest. Inhaling. And exhale. Then we're going to switch sides. So we're going to bring that foot down. Switch over now to the right. For our modified version, the left heel comes up off the ground so that your left toes and the ball of your feet can push against the earth. And we're inhaling, exhaling, in and out. If you want to go for that classical version, I'm hoping I don't hit things back behind me. You might want to check out, see what's in your surrounding areas, and of course, always make sure you're in a safe area where you're not going to run into stuff. And we're inhaling and exhaling. In and out. One more time, inhaling and exhaling. Bringing the foot back down, facing the front, and closing, arms sweep out to the side, coming all the way up or stopping at the breastbone, whichever works best for you. That's all three elements of swimming and qi. So, quick little pointers about balance. I've talked to you before about different ways of maintaining balance. I've talked about being a cake topper, right? Where if you're standing on one leg, if you imagine at the bottom of the foot, if you allow the energy to seep into the earth so that you've got a little more support, and even if you're not feeling energy sink into the earth, just that mental intent, the mind intent in Qigong, very important. Even if you just allow the mind intent to seep into the earth, that gives you some stability up here because you've got a base that's holding you, stabilizing you further within the earth. So you can kind of do whatever you want up top and you've got that stability. Henry talks about the leg that travels back behind us as being like a cat's tail, and bringing your mind intent to the back of the foot helps stabilize you. So if you start to feel off balance, you can guide that foot back to, starts with an I. Oh, the word. Oh, the word. Word. I'm so sorry. I've forgotten the word. But instinctually. So not necessarily planning where the back of the foot is going to go. You want it to go straight. But if you're off balance, playing with this foot and instinctually letting that foot go where it needs to go to help the balance, that works quite well. Finding an inanimate spot to focus in on, usually on the floor or low, so that as you're changing your altitude, you can keep spotting that one area. That will help your center of gravity and your balance. Speaking of center of gravity, if you think about the lower dantian, that's going to help with your balance. And then with this particular exercise, so I've talked about those elements before. With this particular exercise, sometimes what helps me is thinking about the action of the knee right above the knee on the quadricep as I'm coming up, pulling on that knee, pulling just above the knee at the where the quadricep meets the kneecap. That element of that pull helps stabilize me somewhat sometimes. So if you need a little extra something to help with balance, that can sometimes help, as well as the arms. So it's called swimming in Qi. If you allow yourself to feel that sensation of swimming and pushing against the air as if it were water, that helps with stability as well. And so when you put them together, it really does help with the stability. If you're allowing yourself to have not tension, because we don't want lots of tension, but allowing that subtle sensation of allowing yourself the push-pull through the air as if it's water. And right now, it's rather humid for Los Angeles, so it actually does feel a little bit like we're pushing through water. What else? The last thing I wanted to say as far as balance goes, confidence helps a lot. If you are thinking to yourself, oh no, here we go, or what happens if I fall? You are actually more likely to fall. And you can tell when this thought goes through my mind, because I will wobble and then I'll get a big smile on my face because I'll be laughing at myself as to me not being very Qigong-like and allowing monkey mind thoughts coming into my mind about the potential of falling. All that being said, feel free to use the modified version. That really does compress the channels and the tissues in such a way that you're still activating the channels and the areas that you would want to be activating for this exercise. So playing on one leg is not necessary, but it is fun. So if you can play around with it safely, please do so. You also don't have to make the movements quite so dramatic. Being right here is just fine. That works too. Once again, it's all about activating the areas we want to activate, not floor routine in gymnastics. I don't know that they do tennis anymore. I'm a little older. All right, let's do the swimming and chi. We're gonna do 3 times on all the moves. Okay, so here we go. Opening. Inhaling, exhaling, in and out. One more time, inhaling and exhaling. Transition, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, and exhaling, in and out. One more time, inhaling and exhaling. Coming up to a standing position, turning about 45 degrees to the left, choosing your either classic or modified version of part 3. Inhaling, exhaling, in and out. One more time, inhaling and exhaling. Switching sides. Inhaling and exhaling. In and out. Inhaling and exhaling. Coming back to the center. Closing. And that's swimming in chi, parts 1 through 3. Please feel free to ask questions. In just a moment, we're going to do our fall exercises real quick. This is the time to get a sip of water or tea or anything that's nice and hydrating. Once again, rearranging the pants. Okay. I'm going to do my sip or pants. All right. Placing the hands in baby fists. Hands to the back of the thighs or the knees. Tip of the tongue touching the roof of the mouth. Closing the eyes. Lengthening the spine by dropping the tailbone and extending the head subtly into the sky. Allowing the tissues and the joints, the musculature to relax. Inhaling and exhaling at least 3 times as you allow yourself to come into the space and come into the moment. After your next exhalation, on an inhale, we're opening the eyes, placing the palms against the earth with the fingertips pointing towards one another. Then we're exhaling as we come down towards the earth. Inhaling, sitting back on up, raising the shoulders, looking up and back behind us. Staying in this position as we exhale. Inhale. Exhale. In. Exhaling as we curl back towards the earth, repeating this process 2 more times. And when you're ready, coming back up to our seated posture, this time with the palms one on top of the other. Traditionally, men place their right hand on the bottom, left hand on top. Women traditionally place their left hand on the bottom, right hand on top. The thumbs are connected. Tip of the tongue touching the roof of the mouth. And then we begin our closing sequence. So once again, if you start generating any saliva, keep it in your mouth so that at the very end we can swallow it in thirds. Each time as you swallow, you're going to allow each third to come into the lower dantian, settle and store before then swallowing your next third. Here we go. Traditionally, men press their teeth together 36 times, women 24. Swirling the tongue clockwise and then counterclockwise, 9 times each.
swishing any saliva generated 36 times, and then swallowing in thirds. Once you've swallowed your thirds, closing the eyes. With the mind intent, guiding the breath and the chi to the lower dantian. Filling up the lower dantian with all that wonderful chi that you've been cultivating over the past 45 minutes or so. Exhaling, allowing that chi to settle and store so that you might use it throughout the rest of your day. Inhaling and exhaling at your own pace. Guiding the chi to the lower dantian, filling it up. Exhaling, allowing it to settle and store. Thank you all very, very much.